Set. Hey, we wanted to start with the check today.
Oh, I didn't know we were doing this today.
So I'd like to surprise. I'd like you to open up that first.
But I don't have my team with me. You do this to me every year. And every year you surprise me again and again. I don't even know what to say. Thank you. That's unbelievable. I mean, yeah. People are so awesome, aren't they? God is awesome. I would like to say, thank you to the generous congregation of Journey. I mean, every year they just go above and beyond again and again. It's unbelievable. So my name's Angela Boyd, and I am the director of CASA by the Lakes. So CASA stands for Court-Appointed Special Advocate. We advocate for children who are removed from their homes due to abuse and neglect. We're just hoping to change a life, to bring some happiness into a child's life that's going through one of the most turbulent, chaotic times that they've ever been through. So we want to be that one constant person in their life. We're giving them a voice where at one time they did not have one. Even as a child, I knew that I wanted to help other children. I think God put that in my heart back then, and it didn't change, it just continued to grow. I became a teacher because I wanted to help children. But when I got into the school system, I discovered that I was drawn to the kids that were bullied, the kids that didn't have anything. And I didn't think I could do everything I wanted to there, so I needed to look for more. So I started working for Department of Juvenile Justice. When I got there, I discovered just how bad the system is and how these children, there's so many children that are hurting. And so I wanted to do more. And so then I was watching the news and I saw an article about CASA. I don't know what CASA is, volunteering for CASA. So I went to the training to find out more. And I went through the training and I said, I want to do more. And the director at the time said, I'm glad to hear that because I'm leaving and we need another director. So I said, I'm not qualified for this, just like any other volunteer says when we try to get them to volunteer. And they said, just put your resume in and see. So I did. And I went into the interview terrified, but knowing that God had put me on this road, that it all led to that moment. I was not qualified. I had never directed anything in my life but my children. And I saw the other people coming in, And so I said, God, if this is you, that's the only way I could get that. And lo and behold, I went from volunteer to director. This job has changed my life. When we came in, we had 12 volunteers and 5 board members, and we were serving 70 kids. And from the very moment I stepped in there, all I could think of was, how can we do more? There's so many kids out there hurting. And Kelsey was there at the time. We just prayed really hard, and God just showed out really big. And I'll be there 4 years this year. We're now up to 50 volunteers. We have 15 board members, and this year so far we've served 186 children. And we're still going strong. And this community has come together. These people have come out of the woodwork to help us to change the lives of these children. And it's amazing to know that so many people care, and to know that so many people recognize that these children need us, that they need us. So that is why I do what I do. Every day I get up praying that I could just help one person, even if it's just one. And there's a lot of bad that you go through. I don't want to tell stories, but to know that you made a difference in just one, and then they'll go make a difference with someone else, and it goes on and on. I've had the opportunity to bring children to church and help them develop a relationship with God. And that's a lifetime change just right there in itself. So to be able to do those things, that's why I do what I do.
Hey, I'm here with Nathan Carter from the Gentry House. Nathan, thank you so much for what you guys do at Gentry House. And this is something from our 4 Cali Christmas office to say thank you, and hopefully it helps out this year. Thank you.
Yay! Oh, wow.
Yay!
I'm Nathan. I am the director at Gentry House. I've been there for about 7 months now. And at Gentry House, we provide transitional housing for families and individuals in Callaway County who are homeless. And more than just transitional housing, we try to provide them with a support system and resources so that they can rebuild their lives and get to a point of housing stability, economic stability, and just that security that everybody longs for. So at Gentry House, we really get to make a difference in people's lives, and we get to see that firsthand. So volunteers get to actually spend time with residents and get to know them and actually build a relationship, which is really great. It's not just a faceless kind of ministry that you do. Our volunteers do everything from helping welcome residents into our apartments. You know, they get the apartment ready, they provide a hot meal, they just kind of make them feel loved and at home. And then we have other volunteers who, on a more ongoing basis, spend time with weekly check-ins, you know, just calling and saying, hey, how are you doing this week? And some weeks people aren't doing so well, and they can pray with them and, you know, just kind of provide that additional layer of support that they might be missing in their life. When a family comes into our office, we connect them to housing first. We try to take care of that immediate need, and that way we can then begin to address the underlying issues. So as they live with us, we begin to see real growth, and they're able to leave us ready to be successful on their own. We've had families who come in and they don't have jobs, they don't have, you know, they can't even put food on the table. And by the time they leave, they are employed full-time, they've secured housing somewhere, and they're able to kind of take care of their family, their kids, and just provide, you know, what so many of us take for granted. So I've always been passionate about helping the people that fall through the cracks, the ones who they just need an extra hand. Maybe they don't need you to do it all for them, but without that little bit of support, they struggle harder than they really have to. So wherever I find myself, that's kind of the people that I'm drawn to, the ones that they may not want to ask for help, or they may not know how to ask for help. To be able to come alongside them and, you know, kind of ease their burden just a little bit, to me is a very powerful thing. From the time I was very young, I was always very involved in ministry and church, and I was taught from an early age that you just help people. And then growing up, we struggled sometimes. Sometimes we were the ones that needed that little bit of extra help. And so throughout my life, I have seen how somebody coming alongside you can make a huge difference. I wouldn't be who I am today if there hadn't been some of those influential people in my life who kind of showed me, you know, hey, why don't you try this? And kind of opened my eyes to possibilities. And so I guess that's why I do what I do.
I want to start by having you open our gift to Moses Basket this year from our 4 Cali Christmas offering.
Thank you. It's amazing. Thank you very much.
Absolutely.
So my name is Whitney Ladd, and I am the representative for the Callaway County Moses Basket. The Moses Basket is a faith-based nonprofit organization. It was started by two sisters, Lacey Baker and Kristen Beck, and they started it off in the counties that they reside, which was Paducah and Marshall County, and that was a few years ago. After they kind of got everything kind of situated and figured out how to run the Moses Basket, they reached out to the surrounding counties. And so every county in western Kentucky on the west side of the lakes, and then a few on the east. So a total of 13 counties is what the Moses Basket serves right now. When a child is removed for whatever reason, and placed either in a foster home, or they're placed with a relative, or the relative has custody of them, they filed their own custody. The Moses Basket is there to help kind of basically transition that child into a new environment. With what I do and how I serve children in our region, in our community, I get to see the greatest needs of the most vulnerable population that we have, and those are the children. When you cannot speak for yourself, when you cannot change your circumstances because you're a child, you need someone to advocate for you. And that is where the Moses Basket comes in. And we try our very best to provide these children with whatever necessities they need, so that when they do move and they go to a foster home or a relative's home, they have those things that they need, that they feel important, that they know that there's people out there they've never ever met that genuinely love them, want them to succeed, and want them to have a good life, and want to give them something that is their own. A story that comes to mind is there was a sibling group of 4 that went to a foster home, and what they had was limited. And one specific child in that home always wanted Matilda Jane. And it's like a fancy brand, and I know that a lot of her friends probably wore it, and their family just did not have the financial means to get those kind of special things. And so we actually contacted a Matilda Jane trunk keeper, and she donated 3 or 4 outfits for this little girl to wear. And she actually, when she opened it, she was so excited. We actually did like a fashion show, and she got to try on her outfits, and we told her how beautiful she looked and just how amazing she was. And don't be self-conscious, or don't feel bad, you look great. That is one of the best Moses Basket deliveries that I've been able to be a part of. And we just want people to know that we are so thankful for all their help, no matter how you can help. But really, there's no way for me to truly thank them for everything that they do. This is a much bigger thing than just you and I. It's a way that I try to serve others and to love others and to kind of show God's work. And I think a lot of the ladies that I work with and a lot of the other volunteers, I think that they're trying to be a part of something bigger.
So we love what you're doing, Tona, you know that. And thank you so much for letting us partner with you guys for a lot of years. For a lot of years now. You make such a difference in the community. So here's something we would like for you guys to have from our Christmas for Callaway offering. And you can open that up and use that however you need to help you guys in the next year.
Thank you.
You're very welcome.
And I'd like to say, you guys have just been awesome to team up with. You've touched many more hearts than I ever could. And you guys just keep on keeping on with great work.
Well, I don't know many people who haven't been touched by you guys in this community in some way. So.
Okay. Thank you. I'm Tona Casey, and I'm with the Murray-Callaway County Need Line. And we are an agency that does a little bit of everything. primarily meeting basic human needs. We're talking food, utilities, life-sustaining medication, medical travel, blankets in the wintertime, fans in the summer, personal and hygiene items. Like I say, basic human needs. And we have several different food programs. We're reaching all the way from our children with the backpack program, all the way up to our seniors with our senior food program and those in between. We serve well over 1,200 a month, and that does not even include all the backpack children. That includes everything else, all the different food programs and all the other things that we do. Sometimes I get frustrated with my job. I guess everybody does. And I was questioning why I was there. It was late. I was walking through the back and I was like, God, why am I here? And I just feel not really needed. What's going on? And it's just like he thumped me on the head. The phone rang, and I answered it, and it was a family. And the dad said, I need help. I don't know what to do. I said, well, what kind of help do you need? And he said, well, we're hungry, and our lights are going to be turned off, and I don't know where to turn. I don't know. And somebody said, you was the place to call. This was about 7 o'clock at night, so we had been closed a few hours. So I said, well, at 7 o'clock, if you'll tell me where you live, I'll bring you some food. And then I'll talk to you about how to get the help with the rest of the stuff. Normally I don't do that. And normally I don't recommend anybody to go by themselves, take two. But this was here in town, so I stopped in with my box of food and went in and sat down, and the needs were huge. I stayed 2 hours discussing not only what Needline could do, but what the community as a whole could do, because I'm a firm believer that we have to work together. And if we don't work together, we're not going to be able to meet the needs. Nobody's an island. And so when I left there, I prayed, and I thanked the good Lord for opening my eyes once again to there is need. We all can do something. And that family needed so much. Their lights were going to be turned off. We're talking young children, little children. And the hunger was there. And I do believe that most people who are in need and hurting will turn around and pay it back. They'll pay it forward every time. And I get to see that. That's the beauty of being the director at Needline. I get to see miracles.